we're here with one of the faculty members at CEO Space International, Mr. Dennis Wong. What are you doing here and teaching at CEO Space?
Well, I teach two classes. I teach strategies and tactics from a legal perspective, and I also teach contracts and things your lawyer never tells you about the law. So,
The things that your lawyer never tells you about the law. Isn't that kind of like a key point when you're hiring an attorney?
well, that's absolutely true. But what happens is we take it for granted that people will actually know about the law, but they really don't. And so, what I do is I try to tell them things that they actually are familiar with and share with them how they can use experiences that they already have and then apply to the law so that they create a greater understanding.
Can you give us some practical examples? So for people out there who are trying to get a better grasp on this, what do you mean?
Like, for example, that marriage is a contract. What does love have to do with it? Okay, for example, when you marry someone, like, for example, my wife and I, when you marry someone, does that mean that you cease to exist as an individual? My wife's name is Irene, I'm Dennis. So are you going to call us Denreen and we cease to exist as individuals?
I don't know, they call him Benna first, so couldn't we do that with you?
Exactly, but the problem is that we are individuals.
Yeah.
And the importance is understanding the individual.
Yeah.
And for example, one of the things that we talk about is the 1 + 1 = 3 principle. And you're looking at me and saying, well, 1 + 1 = 3? Impossible, it equals 2. Mm-hmm. But what happens is that if you understand the laws of physics, when two energetic forces engage, a third energetic force is created. Mm-hmm. So what happens is when two people engage, like you and I are talking, right, the third energetic force is the relationship that we've created from it. Right. Okay? So for example, in a marriage, when, this is not going to, some people will not be happy with it, but what happens is this. Say for example, I'm a very successful person, attorney, yeah, and I need to have, I'm very successful, but I need a wife. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm looking for the ideal woman, okay, who's going to be attractive, who's going to look good. My friends are going to drool and turn green with envy, and they're going to drool. Okay? That's going to show that I've made it. Now, what about the woman? The woman is going to say, I need a trophy husband. I need someone who's going to let me live the life I would like to be accustomed to. Okay? So he says, he's handsome, he's nice and nice. But at no point in time did they ever talk about love or the relationship. So the relationship was built on getting the benefit of our bargains. I wanted a trophy wife. She wanted a trophy husband who would allow her to live the life she'd like to be accustomed to. Notice how I phrased it. Would like to be accustomed to. So when you break up the relationship, what happens? He doesn't understand me anymore. She can't cook for a hill of beans. But what's the reason for that? It's because of contracts. There's two intentions when you enter into an agreement. And what happens is when those two intentions don't align, that's when you run into conflict. Right. It's being able to understand that. The first intention is why you married the person. Right. The second intention is why you can't get along. And it's the same with even real business agreements. We enter into an agreement based on the first, and we sue based on the second. Right. That's an example of it. There are many other examples that I try to teach. And the other thing that we teach you is just because the law says something doesn't mean that it's the correct interpretation. For example, they say, Mr. Wong, I have this situation. Can you give me the answer? What's the answer? I said, it depends. A good lawyer will tell you it depends. Why does it depend? It depends on what the facts are and what law applies to it. Very simple example. Assault and battery. People have heard about it before. Battery is the harmful or offensive touching of another without consent. Battery is when you miss the person. It's the imminent threat of the harmful or offensive touching. So if I say, can I sue the person for battery? Well, I missed. There was no contact, therefore there's no battery. Okay. So if I sue on that, that's the reason why you can't do that.
Well, you know what? My husband always says that in marriage, we've been married for close to 15 years. And he said every year we should renew our contract. Make sure we're in alignment. What do you think about that?
I think it's an excellent idea.
I think so too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you still want me? Yes. Okay, sign here. You don't want me? No. Okay, well, we're done.
Exactly.
But I want you, so it's all good. Well, thank you so much for being here and being a faculty here at CEO Space. You provide tremendous value to everyone that's attending. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much.